Hello and welcome back to Train Simulator. After the events of yesterday, after we, stalled, I decided this morning I'd try again. As you could tell, I was struggling to pull away on this very steep gradient, which I believe was a 1 in 48 gradient. Well then, we are off to a flying start. We're 2 minutes into the video, we're not even a quarter way through the map, and it's already bloody over. However, I am not one to give up, most of the time. Now, I decided to use the control panel at the bottom just to get the train started, as it does give more control for the train. If you drive realistically in the game, the regulator opens and closes really slowly, thus emitting a lot of steam even though you don't want to. So the idea is you open the regulator really quickly and close it quickly to emit only a tiny bit of steam. Do that a couple of times till the engine moves, and then open and close a bit slower, and then once the engine gets its foot, you just open up and then you putter away. And once again, we are off. As long as we keep the engine in the settings that it is now, we will climb this hill no problem. We put a bit of water just to keep the water up, maybe adjust the regulator or reverse every now and then. Pretty much this will be fine until we reach the top of the hill. This video really is going by slowly. We're already 5 minutes into the video and we're not even at the top of this hill yet. Bloody hell. After a few minutes, we did end up reaching the top of the hill. I'm pretty sure this is the toughest hill in the map, I think. Now, this is Moerwasch siding, I guess that's how you say that. I did end up destroying the pressure going up, but that's because I put the thing into 50% cutoff just to get us over the hill. The destroyed pressure isn't that big of a deal. We are at 100 psi now. We're going down a hill now, so we can just regain pressure as we go down. Along last, we reached Lung Flame, and as you can tell by the music, things are getting a lot more interesting. Instead of going walking pace, we are going quite a reasonable speed, of around 50 or 60 kilometers an hour. I've decided to reduce speed so you can get a look at something rather special at the next station. Here in Fink siding stands something rather unique and rather interesting, but it is indeed a 16DA South African Railway steam locomotive. And here you see me getting rather excited with the regulator, as I want to get some proper speed now, because the engine is now steaming lekker. Now we will be making a stop at Robertson Station because this is one of the only stations with a water point, which honestly does concern me just a tiny bit. After stopping underneath the water point, we will be inning some water in a very thirsty engine.
Nice.
At this point, everything was going very smoothly. The engine has got its water. I'm struggling to pull out the station because I'm very impatient and I'm damaging the engine in the process of doing it. Everything was looking very delicious. Now, of course, we're gonna hit a few hills in the future, but I reckon I can tackle them. You can see here that I just stopped caring. I just let the wheel slip. Who cares if there's a double flange on the wheel? Just make sure that it stays on the track even more tightly. Now, not long after, the engine was performing very deliciously. The regulators all the way out the cab, engines flying past going 60 kilometers an hour, all was good. And the whole goal was to go over the hill that's beyond us. As you can tell, I was very determined to get over this hill. As we hit the hill, we went slower and slower and slower, and then I tried giving more cutoff. So I'm sure nothing will come of it. Shortly after that, we ground to a halt, short of steam. Well, this isn't good. However, I didn't give up. I put the engine into full forward, opened the regulator, applied some sand, and to no avail. Well, shit. Not long after, I decided to get the control panel back up, and I was still struggling. Here's a few minutes of me struggling sped up. After realizing that trying to restart the train on the hill just won't cut it, I decided to back up onto a flat-ish piece of track and get a proper run up. But you'll see that I couldn't even do that without slipping. As you can tell, this really did not go according to plan. I didn't catch the speed that I actually wanted, so I basically just wasted my time. I flippin' carved a flippin' double flange into the wheels. It's time for a rebuild on this engine. Also, this song sounds a lot like the song by Queen, Fat Bottom Girls. My mom is gonna give me a weird look just now. eventually got the engine to properly start up the hill and slowly but surely crawl up the hill.